I'm going to go ahead and put on my apron so that Casey knows when it's time to start the second half of the video. When Mindy says, when I get in the truck for work, I listen to a podcast instead of munching. That's a great idea. And Janet says, I eat and I'm trying to avoid anything sweet. So she's making fruit in a box. What is fruit in a box? What is that? Like to pack to take with you or something? That is awesome. Okay, so this is the second half of chat number 242, and it is titled Overcome Late Night Eating. So we're trying to get over our late night eating habit. So you'll have to go back, if you were just joining us, you will have to go back and watch this later on YouTube. I went ahead and made my, and Melissa is drinking water from her Harry Potter Turtles tumbler. That is awesome. I'm still using my Hocus Pocus Time tumbler because it is almost Hocus Pocus time. Okay, so if you're brand new, you have to go back and watch the first half. You will know when it's time for the second half because I have put on my apron. So tonight for our second half, because Bo cooperated. So, I had said last week that I reserved the right to not have a chat or to leave the chat or whatever because we didn't know when Bo was coming. So she was such a good girl already. She decided to come midweek so that we could have our chat. That's exactly why she came midweek. I'm just kidding. But last week we were talking about 5 different WW plans. 2 of them were not official plans. So 2 of them are plans that I've made up or used or whatever. And one of them is 2 on 1 off, where you eat 2 meals on plan and 1 meal off plan. The next one, or the other unofficial one, is, and Janet said she just cuts it up and puts it in a box so she can just pick it up and eat it. That is awesome. That is a great idea. And then the other one was intentional maintenance. So that is when you are either intentionally on maintenance because you have reached your goal, or you have decided to put yourself on intentional maintenance because just too much is going on and you can't worry about it. Okay, so tonight though, we're going to get back to the actual official WW plan. So tonight, we're going to be talking about purple. So WW My Way Purple, in my honest opinion, is a more simple version of the old Simply Filling plan. And I'm going to be honest. I will be totally honest. I didn't like it. I did not like Simply Filling. Simply Filling was a disaster for me. I actually gained weight on it. I think I'm probably the only person on the planet. Just kidding. I know I'm not. I know there were other people who did. But I gained weight on Simply Filling. It was too simple for me. So it was simply filling, but I never got filled up. Okay, so it was too simple for me. It was too loosey-goosey. And it was too much temptation for me to overeat because you didn't track ever. Like you never track anything as long as you were eating things that were on the Simply Filling list. And I think in other countries they called it something else. I meant to look that up. But and Carol used the 2 on 1 off today because she got to go to the Steeler game. That's awesome. And she wanted to have beer and snacks. That's perfect. That is perfect. Okay, so anyway, you never tracked on Simply Filling. Just as long as you were eating things that were on the Simply Filling plan, you could eat. They didn't say as much as you wanted, but it was as much as it took to make you feel satisfied. I never felt satisfied, okay? Just because the idea was in my head, you can eat as much as you want. You can just keep eating. So why is purple different? So purple is different this time. Okay, Tay gained weight on Simply Filling too. Bam, so I wasn't the only person. Okay, why is purple different? So nothing is free. In my brain, it was free. So 0 points versus free makes my brain process what I'm doing completely differently. So free to me equals eat until you want to puke. Okay, when everything was called free, and Hope and Heidi did too. She's on our team, on our no Simply Filling team. But purple though is completely different for me. So when it was free to me equaled eat until you want to puke. Versus 0 points. 0 points to me means eat a serving at a time. You just eat a serving at a time. So that's perfect. So I don't know. It's just calling it 0 points means I'm going to eat a serving at a time. Even if I go back and have a second serving. There are over 300 0-point foods. So having 300 things that are named, that actually that are named on a list that say that they are 0 points, makes my selections more broad and sometimes exciting. So the limited time that I spent on Simply Filling, I ate the same things over and over and over and over again. Okay, I mean the same things over and over again. So having 300 things that are listed as 0 points, it's been just, I don't know, it's been amazing for me because I've really mixed it up, and I make it, it's really interesting now. And it's actually exciting now instead of eating the same things over and over again. The portion control. So this one is funny. So this is how I treated Simply Filling. So I don't know if you've ever watched the show, the old show Coach, but on Coach, surely if you've ever seen the old show Coach, surely you saw the episode where Luther had been at the all-you-can-eat buffet, and I think it was pancakes if I'm not mistaken. But Luther had been at the all-you-can-eat buffet, and he was really, really upset when they told him that he had to leave. So his exact words were on that episode, he said, "They should let you eat until you die." Okay? So it was funny on the show, but it wasn't funny in real life because that's how I treated Simply Filling. I ate until I got sick because there were free foods, and I just kept eating and eating and eating. Okay, so that's how I treated Simply Filling. With the purple, when I'm on purple, I measure, I count, I'm still tracking portions and each serving. So I'll portion everything out into a serving size. And if you don't know what a serving size is versus a portion, a serving is the recommended amount that's listed on anything. So like a chicken breast is a serving, a half a can of beans is a serving. But on Simply Filling, I just kept loading up and loading up and loading up. But on purple, I'll put out a serving, and then if I decide I want a second serving, fine. If I decide I want a third serving, I'll usually switch to something different. So anyway, so that's different. And you get a minimum of 16 daily points plus rollovers that you can use to enjoy things that will round out your satisfaction. So you don't want it to be so free yet so strict that you can't enjoy what you're having every day. So that minimum 16 daily points, plus you can use them as rollovers, can kind of round out that satisfaction for you. For me, it's Fairlife skim milk, low carb tortillas, peanut butter, and then French toast on Sunday mornings with the family. So that's how I use those 16 points. And the purple plan can be used for as little as a week, or you can use it for a lifetime. I don't know, Simply Filling just felt like it was going to go on for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? I don't know. I couldn't do that for the rest of my life. Purple, if I need to pop in for a week, I can. And if I want to stay on it for a month or the rest of my life, you certainly can. Okay, why should you choose purple? So, some reasons that you should choose purple. Number one, anyone trying to detox from processed foods or to get in some more whole grains, fruits, and veggies, switch to purple. Even if you only do it for a week, if you need to detox, switch to purple. Being on purple is automatically going to kind of nudge you in that direction of non-processed foods, just because everything you're going to be eating, the lower point or 0 point foods on purple, are all mostly going to be things that are minimally processed, mostly whole foods, mostly whole grains, like whole wheat things, and whole fruits and vegetables. It doesn't mean it has to be an apple, but like a whole apple, which, hold on, I'm facing the wrong way. We went to the apple truck today. I'm going to sidetrack. We spotted the apple truck as we were driving back from Casey's this morning, and John said, "Did you want me to circle back?" And we now own 20 pounds of apples. 20 pounds. I didn't even know the apple truck existed. Anyway, we now own 20 pounds of apples. So be prepared for some apple recipes coming soon, okay? So Janet, just hang with me. You might be able to try purple. But you might not need to. Okay, so this week we're just going to talk about purple. But anyway, anybody that's trying to detox, purple's a great plan for that. If you're vegan or vegetarian, the 300 plus 0 point foods include things like tempeh, tofu, eggs if you eat them, half cup servings of unsweetened almond milk, beans, legumes, corn, and fantastic recipes like my plant-based taco soup. Those are all great things that you can enjoy on purple. Another reason is so this is going to be two conflicting pieces of information, but hang with me. So those who love to meal prep, have lots of time in the kitchen, you love to spend lots of time in the kitchen, you love to cook, purple is perfect for you. You can make things like air fryer roasted vegetables, which I did this week. I didn't know Bo was coming on Wednesday, but thank goodness I had made this. So I had taken, cut up butternut squash, onions, mushrooms. Let me think, what else was in there? Butternut squash, onions, mushrooms, zucchini and yellow squash. And I feel like I'm missing something. But anyway, I took all of that and I roasted it in the air fryer, and it was fantastic. It was absolutely fantastic. And it filled me up. And it gave me something to eat for the couple of nights before we went on actual bow watch. But soups, and winter's coming, fall and winter are coming. Soups, you can make, there are 1,000 recipes for soups that are awesomely low pointed, but very filling on purple. Overnight oats. Overnight oats are a killer on blue and green. Good to go on purple. Things like baked apples, tofu stir fries, and more. That'll fill you up, and it's going to keep your points low, but it's going to keep you satisfied. So that's a perfect reason to go on purple. But simultaneously, I think purple is perfect for people who dread meal prep, don't want to meal prep at all, don't want to cook, just absolutely have no interest in cooking, eat the same things every day. So I know that sounds the total opposite of the first person that I described, but Mel air roasted veggies earlier today. Y'all have to go look at her list. That sounds yummy also. But the first person I said loves to meal prep, loves to cook, spends a lot of time in the kitchen. And then I also said that it's great for somebody who eats the same things every day, doesn't like to cook, doesn't really meal prep. It's also perfect for that person because you can do things like, you don't have to plan on tomorrow's meal. You don't have to plan what the next meal is. You can just have all of these things on hand, and you can just grab things that just keep a few things handy, like hard-boiled eggs, frozen grilled chicken. And I had some in the freezer to show you, but I do not think that we're going to have time. I think I'm going to run out of time before I get that out, but if not, I'll go grab it and show it to you. But frozen grilled chicken, tuna packs. So let's just look at a few things. We're going to look at a few things in a second that'll be the perfect purple pantry, but you can keep those. Tuna packs, sturdy fruits and veggies, like baby carrots, store prepped grapes, store prepped, like the mix I was talking about that I used last week for my air fryer roasted vegetables. Those came in an already made pack across the street at Food City. I didn't cut open a butternut squash. I have zero desire to peel, cut up, and cube a butternut squash. Zero. But I'll throw that mix in an air fryer all day long, and it was so stinking easy. Things like that. You can use salad mixes with light dressings. And you don't even have to, like if you use a pre-mixed salad dress or salad mix, you don't have to use the dressing that comes in it. If it has one, you can use things like G. Hughes has a lot of sugar-free salad dressings now, and you can use some light versions of dressings so that, those things are great to use. You can do low-carb tortillas. You do that. You do your tuna wraps with that, and you can grab what you want and not worry about heating up the oven. So I think purple also is perfect for somebody who's going to eat the same things every day and has literally no desire to cook. Okay, so your perfect purple pantry. And Melinda's right. Melinda says G. Hughes is really good. It really is, and I'm super excited about this one. So this one, I'm super pumped about. It's the sugar-free Asian Miso. I have not had this one yet, and why am I shaking it? We're not going to use it. But anyway, so it is it's the Asian Miso dressing. Totally want to try this on some tofu. And I have some frozen grilled chicken that I can use it on. So that's part of your perfect purple pantry. So this next list, these are all things that you need to keep handy if you're going to try purple. They're the basis for the perfect refrigerator or pantry. And everything that I'm going to show you does not have any additional seasoning. So it doesn't have any extra salt added, and it doesn't have any extra oils. Or a lot of times if you get some of these things pre-seasoned, they'll have like extra oil or will have points. It won't be 0 points. So please try to avoid things that have seasoning or additives already included in those. Okay, first thing, chicken or turkey breast, whole or ground. Yeah, and Carol Lou says if you can find it, to try the GQ's mesquite marinade. She says it has a kick to it. That sounds good. But chicken or turkey breast, whole or ground. So you can either, you can buy chicken breasts or turkey breasts, and you can get them either whole and prepare them, or you can get them already ground and use them in a lot of your recipes. So those are going to be 0 points. Frozen grilled chicken, fish, or shrimp. you know, and I feel like I need to show you this bag. So hold on just a second. I'll be right back. And I don't have my microphone on, so you all can't walk around with me. But this is Tyson grilled and ready, and I try to keep this in the freezer at all times. So this is 0 points. It does not have any extra seasoning on it, but you can keep this. So like if you're the person who doesn't want to cook, who doesn't even want to think about it, how easy would it be to heat some of these up? You could heat them up in the microwave if you want to. You could throw on, you know, whatever your favorite seasoning is, and you could toss it in with something else I'm going to show you. And that would be super simple. You wouldn't actually have to cook anything, but things like that. So frozen grilled chicken. Oh, thank you, Linda. Frozen grilled chicken. And Melissa always keeps a bag of that chicken too. Yeah, and she's going to put the Ihop teriyaki sauce on it. That is perfect. That is absolutely perfect, Mel. But frozen grilled chicken, fish, or shrimp. Remember, no seasonings or additives because you don't want it to have no batter. Okay. So one of the girls that works here, she's trying to eat better, but she keeps buying battered fish and battered shrimp. Okay. No, just plain, and you're going to add everything to it. Okay. Canned beans of all kinds. So, you know, it doesn't really matter what kind of beans it is. Just again, no added anything to it. So no oils or pieces of meat or anything. So you want to keep some canned beans in your pantry, whatever kind of beans you like. So you don't have to like the same kind I do, whatever kind of beans that you like. Canned green beans, corn, you know, canned corn is a great thing to keep. Chopped tomatoes. And again, this is tomatoes without any kind of seasoning. You know, you can have some of those ready to go in your pantry. No salt seasonings. So y'all know how much I love the Dax spices. These are no salt and no MSG. So, you know, things like that, you need to keep those at the ready. Fruits like grapes, 20-pound boxes of apples. Yeah, those would be great. Bananas, seasonal melon, things like that. You need to keep, have a lot of that handy. Seasonal vegetables, again, like butternut or spaghetti squash, zucchini, yellow squash. We've already talked about some of those. Mushrooms, corn, fresh leafy greens, sweet potatoes or regular potatoes, because when you're on purple, these are 0 points. Now these are not eat all you want, okay? So you don't need to make 2 sweet potatoes. Oh, did you see that? Yeah. So he got up and moved around. I don't know what he was doing, but so don't eat 2 sweet potatoes, okay? Or 4 chicken breasts or 6 bananas. But anyway, so sweet potatoes, regular potatoes, keep some things like that in your pantry. Frozen fruits and vegetables. Some vegetables are better frozen, and you can keep them. I don't know why he's crying. Anyway, so some fruits and vegetables are better. They're better when they're frozen. So try to keep some of those around. Whole grain pastas. So whole grain pastas, if you're on purple, these are 0 points. And thank you, Linda. He's a goober, but he is pretty. He's very upset about the new baby because she squeaks. So Bo squeaks when she's getting ready to get wound up. And he was like, I need to help the baby. Okay. Anyway, so whole grain pastas and things like that. You need to keep these, get some of these and get them ready because those are 0 points. And remember, a serving at a time, okay? So a serving of whole grain pasta. So maybe you use the whole grain pasta, a serving, 1 serving of this, 1 serving of the frozen already made grilled chicken, and then some of the Ihop teriyaki that I think Mel was talking about, and that would be absolutely fantastic with some green beans. Not the whole box. So on Simply Filling, I would have made, not the whole box, but I probably would have made about half the box and then tried to figure out a way to consume it, in one seating, So you need some whole grain pastas and things like that in there. We were talking about sweet potatoes, tofu or tempeh. If you like things like that, then that would be great. That would be great something to keep in your refrigerator. Old-fashioned oats. Old-fashioned or quick cook oats, just plain oats. Those are going to be 0 on purple, so you're going to want to keep some things like that. We talked about tuna a few minutes ago. These are not 0 point tuna packs. These are all I think these are all 1 point tuna packs. But even if you keep something like this handy, or if you keep cans of tuna handy, that's a great thing to have in your pantry. Nutritional yeast is another good one to have. A lot of the things that I'm making in the air fryer that are low or 0 points, I'm putting nutritional yeast on them. And yes, there's a chat for that in case you don't know what nutritional yeast is. extra virgin olive oil, that has points. So that is not 0 points, but that's what I use to spritz a lot of these things that I'm making. We talked about low carb tortillas. So these are our current favorite. Hold on a second. So Mel says she's looking at the Purple Plan 0 Point Foods list and just noticed that whole wheat couscous is on it. Yeah, so that's another great one to keep. But low carb tortillas are going to be a great thing to keep on hand. These are 1 point. John and I actually prefer these now. Rita's been using nutritional yeast on her popcorn. So John and I have switched to these, and I think he calls this fake bread, or is that what you've been calling it, John? If you happen to be standing there listening. But we both really like these, the La Banderita carb counter tortillas. They're small, so they're not that huge. I don't know, some of them are so big, even though they're 1 point, we're like, oh my gosh, because remember, we're trying to just eat a serving. So I would fill up the huge one, and now, I've been using these that are smaller, and they also have this one's the snack size, and they also have a street taco size that you can get. No sugar added fruit. And if you get a big can like this, you can always get a food hugger, which you can order from Casey Kitchen Center, or you can get it from WW. WW has it on the app now. But zero sugar added fruit. You can use applesauce cups, unsweetened applesauce cups. Those are a great thing to keep on hand. And then things like you can use canned chicken. Canned chicken and canned tuna is always a great thing to keep on hand. Okay. So let me think. I think that's all that I had in the pantry to talk to you about. So that's not everything. So that is, some things have a point, or like a point or two. Some things are 0, but those are some things to keep on hand for your purple, for your purple plan. Okay. So got to talk real fast. So we've got some perfect purple recipes. So these are some recipes, tried and true. I've tasted them all. They're all fantastic. These are things that I would make again and or have made again over and over and over again. So they are perfect low points on purple. A lot of them are either high protein or high veggie or fruit content, so that you can get, you can get that in too. And they're not all difficult. So if you're the person who doesn't like to meal prep or plan, these are all fairly simple. Some of them are a little more complicated than others, but they should be okay. So the first one is That Man's Turkey Tenderloin. You all know that is a family favorite. We talk about that all the time. We use it for meals, but more importantly, we use it for snacking, road trips, and a quick protein power to pick me up. So when we make it, I keep extra in the refrigerator, and we literally might just walk by, grab 3 or 4, because I cut it up into chunks, and then we might just pop that in our mouths, and use that as a quick snack. Air fryer hard-boiled eggs. Those are perfect to keep. If you don't peel them, they will last for several days. If you can't boil an egg to save your life, just go check out IfYouHaveAnEgg.com and look up hard-boiled eggs, and it'll show you how to do that. 0 point apple butter from the Pound Dropper, and I'm going to I'll put the links to all of these recipes. Actually, I won't. Jessica will put the links to all of these recipes in the printed version of this. So when she gets that done, probably Tuesday, Wednesday-ish, maybe Tuesday, if Casey gets the other things done, maybe. Okay. But she'll put the links to all of these in here. So Pound Dropper has a 0 point apple butter. Guess what I'll be making? Using part of my 20 pounds of apples. By the way, if you accidentally drive by and see the apple truck and you place an order, 20 pounds of apples is like 60 to 70 apples. So yes, I'll be making some of Pound Dropper 0 point apple butter. Skinny Taste has a fantastic low yolk egg salad, and that's also great on purple. Drizzle Me Skinny has just posted a pumpkin spice latte. If you use unsweetened almond or cashew milk, it makes it 1 smart point. You need to go check it out. I'll put a link to it again, or Jessica will put a link to it in the written transcript for this. You need to go check it out. Okay. And air fryer roasted veggies that we talked about just a few minutes ago, and my plant-based taco stew, which y'all all have the recipe for that. That's already on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. The cheesecake fruit dip is a family favorite, again, with all this extra fruit that we'll be eating. Pumpkin spice overnight oats, those are already on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. The recipe for the cheesecake fruit dip and the pumpkin spice overnight oats, those are both already on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. And the newest, I love this, it is 3 bean 3 bean and ham soup. And this recipe will be on, is John going to bed? John, we have a few more minutes left. This will be on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com this week. So Jessica will be posting this, but this is literally just 3 kinds of beans, some corn. It is, let's see, I used corn. So I used canned corn. It's a can of corn. And 3 cans of your favorite type of beans. I used cannellini beans because they're a little bit bigger bean. Then I used some light red kidney beans. And I used a can of lima beans because I like the way they taste. And for some color. And then I used a can of petite diced tomatoes. And I used a bag of 95% fat-free cubed ham. And this will end up being, I think it was 12 cups, and then you add a cup and a half of water. But again, Jessica will post this recipe this week. This is a 0 point, this ends up being a 0 point recipe when you're on purple, okay? So, you're definitely gonna wanna watch out for that recipe later this week. And then the last thing I'm gonna tell you about is if you are trying to do purple on the go, so if you've got places you've gotta be, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, I don't have time for this. So some perfect things, and I don't know why I feel the need to turn that can around, but anyway, some perfect things if you were trying to do purple on the go. So if you need to be on the go, if you don't have a lot of time to prep and make some food, there are going to be times that you're going to have to go through the drive-through, or maybe run in and sit down, or you're just going to have to grab it and go. We just talked about this. That man's turkey tenderloin, perfect. It is perfect for that, and it's so easy to make in the air fryer. So you don't have to like to cook to make that. Also, the air fryer hard-boiled eggs, and we talked about that 2 weeks ago, I think, when we were talking about WW on the go. Convenience stores already have hard-boiled eggs, bananas. They always have bananas and apples. They have different kinds of flavored waters if you just need something to get you, keep you going to your next stop. They usually have snacking cheeses, like if you get some light string cheese to go with the apple. Pickles, they all have pickles now. Every single convenience store I have been in lately, they all have, I can't think of the brand name, but anyway, they all have pickles. And a lot of them have like a veggie snack pack, so you could grab that at a convenience store. But drive-thrus or dine-ins on purple, these are my favorites on purple. Chick-fil-A, the grilled chicken nuggets with the fruit cup, very low in points when you're on purple. Chipotle, you can get, I think it's romaine lettuce on the bottom, the fajita vegetables, salsa, pinto beans, chicken. You can, oh snap, Melissa's exactly right. Yeah, they're Oh Snap pickles. That's the brand. But anyway, Chipotle, it's lettuce, fajita vegetables, salsa, pinto beans, and chicken. And so if you wanted to add a little cheese, you probably have enough points left for that. And then they also have a rice that you can add to it if you have extra points. Cracker Barrel, my go-to on purple is the grilled chicken tenderloins or grilled catfish. But I tend to steer away from the grilled catfish just because I cannot resist the urge to put a ton of tartar sauce on it. So if you're going to put tartar sauce on it, don't get the grilled catfish. So grilled chicken tenderloins or grilled catfish, green beans, pinto beans, and yes, I know that's 2 kinds of beans, but my dad is not here anymore to fuss at me about that, and the seasonal fruit. At IHOP, you can get a simple and fit omelet with fresh fruit, and that's very low points on purple. And at Wendy's, I usually get a plain baked potato, a small chili, and then some light sour cream. You can either put that on the potato, or you can get a small side salad and do that as well. Whew. Okay, so we have 1 minute left. So thank you again, everybody. Please, 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 after Casey posts this week's YouTube video, please go and congratulate her there. Maybe watch the video. That would be awesome. And congratulate her there because she will see all of those. Or you can congratulate her here on Facebook later. She will not see all of these live comments because she doesn't go back and watch the Facebook. She goes back and watches the actual video while she's getting it ready for YouTube, and it's just youtube.com. Search If You Have an Egg. She will see that later when she gets that done. Hopefully, fingers crossed tomorrow if Bo behaves herself. And yeah, so thank you for all the congratulations on the new grandbaby. We are super, super excited. We're super excited to share her and big sister Alyssa, who's already in the middle of all this, with you all. But y'all have a great evening. If you were watching this on YouTube, please go ahead and watch, and I don't remember which side it's on, but please go ahead and let the next video roll over. And if you would please subscribe, because our subscribers sadly are like I don't know why. They're going downhill. So if you would please subscribe on YouTube, that should be right here, and you can hit that little bell and you'll be notified when the next video is posted. So you all have an amazing evening. Dusty, oh, he's sitting up. Come here, buddy. He's actually awake. So let's say goodnight to Dusty. Oh my goodness, you're heavy, buddy. So many times he is snoring and I don't pick him up to say goodnight, but he was actually awake tonight. So tell everybody goodnight, Dusty. Probably because he can smell the ham and that 3 bean and ham soup. But y'all have a great evening. I will see you next week. And thank you again to Bo for cooperating so we could have our chat tonight. But y'all have a great week and I'll see you next time. Good night.